So let's have a conversation. No, I won't say too much, but because, this investigation's been going on and on and on and on since 1984, it's kind of interesting to put things together in perspective of things. Because I don't get to see any of it until it's finished. To see if they did it correctly. But if you checked out what's going on some other websites that I post these videos on, you realize that a lot of people have been lying too much lately. That's from small businesses to major corporations, even including General Electric. These aren't past issues and whatnot. Some say, how can you do this or that? Well, it's pretty simple to do, actually. I mean, just because the letter says the investigation's closed in the sense of lying to a person, that's going to keep on going and going and going, because technically once you sign that little paper in Europe that says, well, I want you, that person's actually accusing a person or a company or a business, especially with a company or business, it's hard to get 100% in the sense of, I mean, not real hard, but finding out what actually happened in a business or a company. It's not that hard, though, to figure it out. As far as most of these people, they're looking at a startup of 80 years to over 100,000 years imprisonment because of lying. A lot of them are just regular people, there's gonna be no, mercy for them on this and whatnot about actions of a company. As far as the military, we're not worried about them. The so-called let's do a movie military, and I think they know it was often called SEAL 6. This so happens of one thing that supposedly the guy came from Europe, better known as France, but he was stationed in the desert. He's about the biggest crybaby of them all out of that whole movie. Technically, the investigation went in under the fact of a video cover-up, and that just states that they were saying that they were just making movies and videos, they're not military of sorts, and blah 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 blah, to where the investigation would thrive and continue a lot better in certain things. So, with this said, and with him actually ignoring someone who's higher ranked than he is, he's actually part of the investigation, but the investigation was removed from him being authorized or permissible to actually do much about it. The investigation was handed over to someone else in the KGB, German embassy, and a British liaison who had a pretty good financial and accounting background where there was no theft of any money, to help verify certain aspects of criminal activity, and that of stealing from paychecks to banks to corporations, as one of them was let go, but pulled in about 4 other people in the investigation to see what was going on. So a lot of these people that were technically, like I said, I'll put the other video up, stealing by your cell phone, mainly the wallet on your cell phone. People like to put their bank account cards and their debit cards and even gift cards on there, and these people were lifting every time that you would swipe your phone over onto the credit monitor, or whichever they were doing, and stuff like that, that they were actually stealing from you through the banks that some use. Some are Visa, some are MasterCard. But with that, it has a different little bit of a twist to see whether or not certain people were misusing in the USA military, as some of them presented themselves falsely as German and Russian KGB and British intelligence and accountants that they use in those countries, as well as computer programmers and everything else. Some of it was over the table cash handling, and some of it wasn't. As ones that were put up, they're also known, ACI and MRS is known as another company. You can't buy out a collection company, which is the interesting part, that was accused of a criminal activity. So that got even deeper. The multiple changing of a company with different owners, that became a problem. So to get down to what's actually going to happen is some people are going to come in and start handcuffing people because it's beyond the fact of being proven. So for all of them that were thinking they got away with something, you didn't get away with anything.